And the Russians, the Orthodox Christians of Russia and the Eastern Christian world are our natural allies. So I see two things. I see civil war in Turkey, with Muslims around the world defying their governments and marching to Constantinople to join our army. And number two, I see a military alliance with Orthodox Christianity, therefore with Russia, which will lead to the conquest of Constantinople.
We have one more question over here.
Right, sir.
I wanted to ask that we have heard on the TV channels and all these newspapers and everything, a prophecy regarding Ghazwa Hind. I understand that the hadith is zaif, it's not mustanid. So is there something like this, that the war is being fought between Pakistan and India, which is what everybody talking about right now? And what's the truth behind it?
I regret I can't comment. I would like to comment on this subject on another occasion in order not to divert attention from our special topic for today. Yeah? So I will not speak on this topic today. No. Sorry.
I think that if we don't have... Oh, we have one. So this will be our last question.
What's happened in the world? If the third shadow is going to control, what's happened to the money?
If what?
The third shadow, I mean the Israel.
If Israel is going to control, what's going to happen to our money? Okay. What will happen to the world of money when Israel takes control? That's the question. I just delivered 3 lectures on money. You'll find them on my YouTube channel. They were delivered at a Sorao here in KL. The first was entitled, What is Money in the Quran and Sunnah? The second, What is Money in the World Today? And the third was Beyond the Petrodollar. What is the Islamic response to the bogus monetary system? All 3 lectures were just delivered recently, and please listen to them. What we have is a balloon which is deliberately being filled with more and more money, invisible, intangible money, in order that it will one day burst. They want the system to collapse. They want the system to collapse. They don't know when it will collapse, but the balloon will have to burst. When the balloon is not expanding fast enough, they pump into it something called, what is it called? What? Quantitative easing, QE. Where do they get these terms from? I don't know. Arab money, fiat money, calling their children kids. I don't know where they get these terms from. QE, that is that the President of the United States of America sends a letter to the Federal Reserve, and the Federal Reserve then issues a check for $7 trillion to the banking system in order that the banks don't collapse. They tell monstrous lies. The purpose is to expand the balloon so that one day the balloon will collapse, will burst. When the balloon bursts and the US dollar collapses, no money can survive. None. Because the entire system is built on the US dollar. Brexit occurred to tell Europe that the euro also will not survive. That's the message of Brexit. So the Malaysian ringgit will, goodbye to the Malaysian ringgit. And the Pakistanis will joyfully say goodbye to that piece of paper called the Pakistani rupee, which is the instrument of their poverty. And then after the paper money goes, which is the money? It's going to be electronic or digital money. In my last lecture, I said, I didn't know. In a post-nuclear world, how can you have electronic money? because nothing electronic will work. Then someone came to visit me from Saudi Arabia, and he explained to me, he said, Sheikh, let me explain to you. He says the internet is based not only on what do you call it, the wireless internet, but also cable internet. And he said cable internet will survive the nuclear war. And with the cable internet, banking system can survive. And so invisible, intangible, digital money will replace paper money. And there'll be only one currency in the world. Only one. So goodbye to the money changer. One currency in the world, and it's going to be invisible, intangible. You can't see it. It has no intrinsic value at all. It is created out of nothing. You just type it in and type it out. I have to restrain my language because I'm burning inside with fire. Allah uses the term in the Quran, donkeys. He said they have the Torah and they don't live in accordance to the Torah. They're just like donkeys with a load of books in their backs. Another word for donkey is an ass. In the Caribbean, from where I come, we call it a jackass. Same word. So when this invisible, intangible, digital money comes for all of mankind, using one money, the jackasses in the world of Islam will give their fatwa that even this is halal. Tell me what else is there for us to do. ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَهُ أَسْفَلَ السَّافِلِينَ. When will you go and ask your scholars? Go and ask them. Pick up the phone and call them. Ask them, is this money that we are using today halal? We don't find it in the Quran, we don't find it in the Sunnah. Where did it come from? If it's halal, tell us so. If it's haram, tell us so. And this is not a private conversation, we want to quote you. And tell us what's going to be our position when the invisible money comes, the digital money. One currency for all of mankind. But Israel cannot claim to be holy Israel. Khalifa state, Khilafah state, using bogus money. Nobody, no Jew will accept Dajjal as the Masih. And so Israel will have to return to dinar and dirham. Yes. And a dinar and dirham monetary system will have to come back to the world. And I pray that I'm not alive. I beg Allah to take me away, take me away, take me away. I don't want to live to see that day of shame and disgrace. That they bring back the dinar and dirham while we are content to eat biryani and go home and sleep.
No more questions? Last question.
Coming back to this monetary system, like we are living in this world and we were born in the paper money. So what can we do? We are buying things with paper money. Everybody is buying with ringgit and dollars and everything.
I'm glad you asked the question. Number one, the first step is Allah did not send down the Quran to donkeys. Allah says that He sent down this Quran لِقَوْمِ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. He sent down this Quran to a people who think. So stop whatever you're doing and use the intellect that Allah gave to you. And make an effort to study using the Quran. I've delivered the lectures, I've done all the homework for you. So you yourself can come to the conclusion that this is bogus, it's fraudulent, it's haram, it is a vehicle of exploitation and oppression and enslavement. That's the first step. You can't move anywhere without that first step. When you come to that conclusion, the second step is to go to the scholars and get from the scholars their response and publish it. Because they're scared. They are stuck in the system. They don't know what to do. They can't say I'm wrong, but they also cannot say I'm right. That's not a scholar.
How do you survive it?
No, we haven't come to that as yet. We're going step by step, step by step. If you cannot get the scholars of Islam to wake up, your job is going to be impossibly difficult. When you can get some scholars of Islam to wake up, prominent scholars, you then go to the next stage. The next stage is to launch a movement which is peaceful movement. A movement to mobilize the people. That we want the Quran and the Sunnah to prevail. We want the money which is in the Quran and Sunnah, dinar and dirham, to be made legal tender. We're not saying to take the Pakistani rupee out of the market. No, we're not that stupid. We are saying make dinar and dirham legal tender alongside the rupee, so that those who want to use dinar and dirham can do it. Okay? The reason why the enemy does not want that is because once you have gold as money, their system will collapse. When you are launching that movement to bring dinar and dirham as legal tender, the word will reach Moscow. The word will reach Beijing. And if Russia and China decide to make their money redeemable in gold, the whole system will collapse. That's it. So don't think about yourself alone first. Think big. Think about the system. The macro response, of course, is you don't have much time left. You should already have had some dirhams in your pocket. At least maybe 100, 200 dirhams in your pocket. And you should have a few dinars in your pocket. If you do not have it as yet, go and do it quickly. A dirham is selling now for about 16 ringgits for a dirham. So 100 dirhams is only 1600 ringgits. Go and get 100 dirhams. Keep it at home. A dinar is selling now for maybe about 800 ringgits, okay? Get a few dinars and keep them, because once the paper money collapses, you are at their mercy with that electronic monetary system. You cannot take your money out of the bank. No. In fact, it's not banks. I don't think the banks will control money anymore. I think it's central banks that are going to take over from banks. And central banks are going to control all the money. Every account will be in the central bank, and they will control the central banks of the world. Okay? So that's a micro response. We had Eid al-Adha recently. I bought my animal, Qurbani, using dinar and dirham. Yeah. Because I said, if I buy it with bogus paper money, will Allah accept it? Huh? You can use your dinar and dirham to the extent that it's possible to use it, but at least keep dinar and dirham in storage for that rainy day.
I think we're getting close to the end of the session. So we'll have just one last question from here, because we already had one question here. So our brother here, last question, and then
That's one more question, then we finish, okay?
My name is Akhtar Qureshi, belong to the Pakistan. My question is, you are saying that all the money is bogus money and the paper money. Nowadays, we are using dinar and dirham. If we are using dinar and dirham, it's also paper money.
Oh,
Dinar and dirham in the shape of paper or in the shape of...
okay. I should have mentioned
Please.
that when the word dinar is used in the Quran, when Allah used the word dinar in the Quran, He is referring to a gold coin,
Yeah.
not a paper dinar.
Yeah.
Huh? And when he used the word dirham in the Quran, he's referring to a silver coin. Yeah.